It is in the small things that we find true meaning to this existence. In the eyes of our loved ones and our neighbors, in the land that we dwell upon, in our daily deeds, and in everything encompassing our own personal world, there is goodness, there is peace. And it is in this quaint small town of Kalubian, this would be an appropriate setting for such a blessed occasion. Considered as a fourth-class municipality in the province of Leyte, Kalubian comprises of 53 barangays and a population of roughly 30,000 people. Majority of these barangays are located along the coastline, making fishing their principal source of income. Typical weather in Kalubian is described as having no dry season with a pronounced maximum rain, specifically through the months of November to January. However, on this particular January day, rearing overcasts and ominous winds failed to dissipate the Kalubian townsfolk's anticipation of what's about to visit their humble home. Saint Therese of Lisieux, widely known as the Little Flower of Jesus, has been the criterion to most Catholics due to the simplicity and practicality of her approach to the spiritual life. Overcoming countless obstacles from childhood on to her 9 precious years as a Carmelite religious, up to her final days. It was only after her death, through her memoirs, The Story of a Soul, Saint Therese made a lasting impact on modern Catholic existence. She bestowed the doctrine of the little way to constantly pursue little acts of goodness without approval, praise, or recognition. She was beatified in 1923 and canonized in 1925, 28 years after her death. In 1997, she was declared Doctor of the Church, an important title given to saints for their significant contribution to church teachings.
I started knowing St. Therese when her relic in the year 2000, first time to visit the Philippines. And somebody had invited me, Colonel Cabos. He invited me to Carmelites in Cebu to follow the motorcade going to Mactan. Pagdating namin doon sa Mactan Air Base, kaming dalawa nagtulong sa pagbuhat. After that, lumipad ang aeroplano. After 3 days, I went back to Manila. Pagdating ko sa airport that time, there was somebody who gives me a thumb. I thought it was just an ordinary advertisement. Binabasa-basa ko ron, yun. Para man itong tungkol sa Saint Therese of the Child Jesus. And there was a miraculous invocation that says in a paragraph, I will fulfill your plea to be made known everywhere, and I will never stop to lead others to Jesus through you. Dumating lang sa punto na nagpa-print ako ng 20,000 copies of that pamphlets. At saka, parang gusto ko lang mamigay. Namigay ako kahit sino. And then, there was a time when Mayor Teddy Uwano had sent me to US to attend an international sisterhood convention because there are 500 cities all over the world attending. The thing was, naiwan ko yung brochure ng Mandawi. Ang dala ko, yung pamphlets ni Saint Therese. Yun, pinamigay ko yun doon. And then I went to a a church. Nagbilal ako doon and then binigay ko yung pastor. During his homily, in-announce niya na we have a visitor coming from the Philippines who brought us Saint Therese.
Saint Therese's parents, Saint Louis Martin and Saint Maria ZELIE both longed for a life of divine service. Saint Louis Martin intended to become an Augustinian monk, while Saint Maria ZELIE, a nun with the Sisters of Charity of Saint Vincent de Paul. But because of limited education and feeble health issues, both were rejected and compelled to a life outside the church. Or so it seemed. Their union graced them with 9 children, but only 5 daughters survived infancy. These very same daughters would all be consecrated to the service. Years after their deaths, the Church recognized the holy intercessions of Saint Louis and Saint ZELIE, healing 2 separate infant cases, Pietro Schiliro in 2002 and Carmen Perez Pons in 2008. That same year, the 2 were beatified by Cardinal Jose Saraiva Martins. In 2015, officiated by Pope Francis, Saint Louis and Saint ZELIE became the very first canonized couple in church history.
Yung staff ko sa Cebu and may pag-ibig siya na Malaysian, dinala ko sila dito. So sabi niya, ano bang gusto mo? Sabi ko, I need a mama and papa of Saint Therese because they were blessed. Nagtanong yung Malaysian, si Mr. China, saan daw ako nagpagawa ng mga ganito? It was built by architect Vic Gulani, a sculptor and engineer. Siya yung nagawa dito sa mga Way of the Cross. Sabi ko, kayo na lang mag-usap sa sculptor. That was 2007. And now, we never thought that the mama and papa of Saint Therese, Saint Louis and Saint ZELIE, had been canonized as saints. When Bishop Bactol had told me, I think that was 6 months ago, that the relic of the mother and father of Saint Therese will be coming to the Philippines, and that nagsuggest ang National Shrine na one of its destination is the Diocesan Shrine of Saint Therese.
Since their holy recognition by the Catholic Church, the remains of the Martin couple have visited to 32 archdioceses all over the globe. And it is here, in Kalubian, Leyte, that the holy relics received a heartfelt, festive Filipino greeting. Founded in 2000, the Saint Therese of the Child Jesus and the New Way of the Cross Diocesan Shrine first began as a small chapel, which later grew and added a small pilgrim house for the devotees of Saint Therese, as well as the 14 stations of the New Way of the Cross positioned on the hillside facing the Biliran Strait. Each station features life-sized statues meticulously crafted by local artisans.
Nakita ko itong lugar na ito, the panoramic view which for me it's very, very nice. So I was thinking of putting up a very little chapel in honor of Saint Therese. I offered to the owners to buy it 5,000. Ayaw niyang ibinta because sabi niya baka magagalit yung mga anak niya. I went back to Cebu and after 3 days, tumawag siya sa akin, totoo ba daw na tayuan ko ng chapel? I-donate daw nila. Basta tayo ng chapel. So I was then challenged, maybe it was Saint Therese who guided us na she really wants this place. And then, nagkataon na nakita kami ni Bishop dito. He told me na you prepare next Fiesta 2001. I will declare this as a Diocesan Shrine. A Diocesan Shrine is a center of devotion in Leyte. So I purchased some property here. I put up a way of the cross. Ito na yun, Calvary, commemorating the death of the passion of Christ here.
After another joyous celebration in honor of their visit, the holy remains of the Mahtan couple was transferred to the cathedral in Biliran, where it will again be venerated by devoted followers, and then transferred once more to its next destination. To the honest, hard-working people of Kalubian, though their modest little town was just one of the numerous places the holy relics of Saint Louis Martin and Saint ZELIE have graced its presence, they know in their hearts that their lives were enriched, their souls nourished, and that their very existence is of great importance to this ever-growing world.